Hello everyone, my name is Krista Douglas and today we will be demonstrating the FMS deep squat test. FMS does stand for functional movement screening and we will be going over that test today. So the purpose of that test is to assess bilateral symmetrical functional mobility of the hips, knees, and ankles. And some common errors to avoid would be to shrug your shoulders or be too leaning too far forward. Your hips could not be over your feet and nothing will be parallel. Some factors that may affect your results would be like a sports injury, for example, an ACL tear, or maybe your shoulder got hurt or injured in some way, shape, or form. And then at the end of the video, we will summarize our results and answer a few questions. So here V is going to be presenting our FMS deep squat test. So first you want to make sure your arms are above your head in line with your shoulders, and you want to make sure you have a straight bar as well. Make sure your feet are about shoulder width apart, and then you're going to squat down as deep as you can. You do want to make sure that here in this photo, your femur is below horizontal, which it is, and that your dowel is aligned over your feet. But now she's going to come straight back up, and then she's going to turn to the side and show us from the side angle. So once again, your hand are over your shoulders, and you're going to squat all the way down. Your hips are below horizontal. You want to make sure your upper torso is parallel with your tibia, and your knees are aligned over your feet. And then she's going to come back up, and now we're going to show an example of how not to do an FMS deep squat test, or what it would look like to fail the FMS deep squat test. So she's just going to head over. As you can see, she's leaning too far forward and her shoulders are rounded. You want to make sure everything is straight and in line with each other. So looking back over at the video, we are going to summarize the results of V's FMS deep squat test. So she did pass. However, if you were to fail the FMS deep squat test, it would just mean that you have limited mobility in your upper torso, which can lead to poor glenohumeral and thoracic spine activity. So how can these results influence training decisions or injury prevention strategies for soccer specifically? These results can influence training decisions or injury prevention by proving how much strength you have, if you're able to complete the squat or not, how much mobility you have as well. If you're unable to do these, then it could probably very well lead to injury while playing your sport if you're not able to move with mobility. What are ways to improve test performance or address limitations based on research findings? First, you would need to understand your FMS results, and then you would have to address your pain and limitations. And then you want to focus on what your weakness is. You would want to focus on your weakness, and then practice the FMS movements, get that down. And then you can add variations and challenges later on, and then you would be able to retest and reevaluate. And then maybe your results will be better the second time around. What are some recommendations for exercise selection, warm-up routines, modifications to enhance effectiveness of the deep squat test? Some recommendations for ankle mobility would be calf eccentrics along with goblet dorsiflexion. For hip mobility, you could do your hip 90-90s, and you could also do your hip posterior mobilization. And then for your squat mobility drills, you could do a sit squat along with a goblet squat. That is everything for your FMS deep squat test. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you.